Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my strength and my Redeemer. In loving gratitude. Hey, good morning to you all, or good day on this Wednesday, October the 2nd of 2019. I have been offline for a while, and welcome to Wake Up with Deb. I have been offline for a while because there's been a lot of things that I have been going through in my personal growth, and in this time that we're in, I don't know about you all, but I have really been noticing a shift. And the shift that I notice is all around me, and it's really hard to describe. So we're going to get into that in a few. Hi, Glee, and Michelle. Good to see you all. We're going to get into that in just a few minutes. But first, as we do with all of the Wake Up with Debs, we are going to go into that 0-point space of creation, that point of present, that now and present moment where creation happens. And through the day and through the week and through the year, I would really suggest to really start out at the 0-point space of creation, at the space of nothingness and no oneness. Then you can be at one-ment with all around you. And Selene Terry, she takes that word atonement and makes it at one-ment. It's spelled the same way, but it has two different meanings. But anyway, what we're going to do today is first we're going to close our eyes, take a deep breath in, and let it out. Take another deep breath in. And when you let it out, just let it out with all of the frustrations, whatever you are going through of this morning so far. Who knows, maybe your curling iron didn't work for you, or maybe you didn't have hot water, or just let all those frustrations out with this next breath. So just let it out with a sigh. And then your next deep breath in, just ask to go into that ancient heart Akashic record space. Now, in our heart records, we carry everything that we've ever gone through in our heart space. And what's interesting is we have the ability to transmute those not so pleasant or those lower vibrational times with higher vibrational, with love and joy and peace and happiness. And what we can do is when we go into ask our Akashic heart records to show us that most loving moment, that moment where we are satisfied, that moment where tears almost well up in the corner of your eyes, or if tears are there, just let them flow. But just ask yourself, show me that most loving moment that I need to see. Breathe in and just relax into it and wait for those records to connect from your heart space to that third eye space. And it's going to show like a video, like you're watching a movie, or you may hear a song, or you may see colors start to come into that space. So just kind of sit back and relax. You know, the colors could be, the first time that, you ever saw a rainbow, if you remember that, or the rainbow that you saw yesterday. How did you feel? How did you feel when you saw the sun rise? And when the sun rose, it shined a beautiful pink blanket of love around the entire planet as it rose up into the sky. So the sun loves us even before our day begins. And just go into those spaces. It could be you first time you held your baby, or your newborn baby, or your grandbaby, or a kitten, or a puppy. So I'm just going to be silent for a moment while that space shows up for me. So the space that's showing up for me is kind of interesting because it's when I went to bed last night and I was laying on my pillow and I was, releasing all the cords, and I just felt myself hug myself. I felt myself take that little Debbie inside of me and wrap my arms around her. And when you're a child and someone that you love and trust wraps their arms around you and holds you, Aspen likes to call it squeezier, squeezier, squeezier. But that oxytocin that's generated in your body and that serotonin and all those wonderful, wonderful, happy love drugs that you produce inside you just start to flow through all of you. And I can see myself just hugging little Debbie. It's like, when's the last time you hugged your little one inside? And we just kind of drifted off to sleep together. So I'm going to watch that video play in my mind's eye while you watch your video or listen to whatever song or see whatever colors. And as I see that video of that love, it's so beautiful. It's feeling that feeling of being safe and secure. It's feeling that feeling of being vulnerable. It's feeling that feeling of all is well. So as you go to that all is well moment with you, I'm just going to start shining some pink rose-colored light into my vision. So as I shine that pink colored rose light, which in your imagination, just take that pink, see pink first of all, and just kind of shine it as a spotlight, or it can be in the edges, and just kind of overtake that whole picture playing. Or that song, see the colors of that song, but turn it into that beautiful rose pink. Rose pink is the color of Mother God. Mother, the Holy Spirit of God. And when we take and we shine that rose pink, into that experience. For me, what happens is my body just starts to feel lighter because that light, it kind of washes away everything, all of that ickiness, whatever I went through yesterday that I was holding on to. It just washes all of that. And I just let that pink light just flow through me. And as it flows, it gets brighter and brighter. And it expands, and it expands in this avatar that I am, Deb. It expands in this human body, and I can feel this light just beaming inside me brighter and brighter. And as it beams inside me brighter and brighter, I just feel lighter and lighter. And pretty soon my human suit cannot even contain this light anymore. So all of a sudden I visualize and I can imagine this light just bursting out from my heart space and my back and my head and my feet and the palm of my hands. It just bursts out like a big egg in all different directions. And as my beautiful loving light bursts out, it connects with your light, because like energy attracts like energy. And it weaves together this beautiful pink blanket that we are all on now. And it's this like the soft, warm, fuzzy blanket that just came out of the dryer, and it's like a magic carpet ride. So we're just raising higher and higher and higher in our vibration. And as we raise higher, that light expands out even further and further. And pretty soon it's just covering our, not only where we are, our space that we're in right now, but it covers our neighborhood and our cities and our state and our countries. And pretty soon it just expands so big, it's covering the entire world with this beautiful pink light. And you can imagine in your imagine, in your image, that when this light hits these people and their eyes are open and they start to see color and they are opening into the love and they feel that love. They don't know where it's coming from, but they can feel that. And pretty soon we'll just find ourselves traveling through space and time as the pink just engulfs everything. That rose pink just engulfs our entire surroundings as far as the eye can see. And soon our vibration is so high that there's just nothing and no one in this 0 point space of creation, in this now and present moment, 0 point of love, where we began and where we are. And it's like being in a dark wormhole, dark void, but it's so beautiful. All the colors around us. And while I'm here, I'm going to add some emerald green for some healing. Emerald green is a great healing color. And some sapphire blue for some strength and some masculinity strength. And maybe some yellow for some self-confidence if you need it, and some orange for some happiness and some balance in emotions. Some red, some beautiful ruby red, that our needs are manifested. Some violet for some spiritual understanding and growth. And some teal for the truth. And as this rainbow surrounds us, your energy and my energy and everyone else who watches this video later, we can just say and set the intention. Today is the bestest day ever, whatever that looks like and whatever that may be. And I am in loving gratitude for every experience that I experience and everyone that comes my way to experience it with. And so it is. So thank you so much for joining me today with Wake Up with Deb. Hey, it looks like there's quite a few people that have joined. Caleb, hey Caleb. Starseed, it's good to see you. And Lucy and Judy and Rhonda. And let's see, who else is here? If y'all just kind of give a shout out or, give those hearts or those likes, let me know that you're enjoying this and you're with me. I just love you all from the very core of my being, and I am so, so thankful for each and every one of you sharing this incarnation with me. There's the hearts. I love seeing those hearts. Those hearts, they just expand even more and more and more. So I wanted to come to you today because the title of this is, Do You Know Who You Are? Do you know who you are? And for those of you that have joined me before with Wake Up with Deb, this may be some information that you've heard before, but there may also be something new in this for you. And why the reason I ask you, do you know who you are? Because when you know who you are, your life changes. When you know who you are, accept and allow who you are, your life becomes so much more magical. This game of life becomes just incredible. And even the parts that we think are painful or sad or even in those parts, our lives can be so amazing. And I want to start out by saying Jesus told us who we are. Now, you may believe that Jesus walked the face of this planet. That's okay. Or you may not. That's okay too. In my knowing, I know that there were several masters that walked the face of this planet to show us how to live, to show us how to reach the kingdom of heaven. And it's not after we die to reach the kingdom of heaven. We reach the kingdom of heaven while we live. I'm going to say that again. We reach the kingdom of heaven while we live. Because the kingdom of heaven is within us. So we come to this planet, and before we even come to this planet, we sit around as souls, as these souls, and we decide what experiences we want to have. We decide what lessons or blessings that we want to experience and remember from. So I love, he's a YouTuber. His name is Aaron Dowdy. And one thing that he asks people to do, and I love it, and I'm going to do that with you right now, is let's just turn on our imagination for a few minutes. Let's just visualize together. Let's visualize that we are in this beautiful realm of bliss and love, because that's where we started. That's where we originated from, was love. And we're all blissing out in this blissful place of love, right? And we're just going, this is cool. And Aaron says, you know, you can imagine you want this, and bam, it's right there. Okay. And he said, eventually, we're going to get bored. You know, and he uses, I love the analogy he uses. It's like having all of the cheat codes to the video games, right? So it's not fun anymore, because you can put in a cheat code and you can, you know, have that magical, you know, all of the lives that you want to while you're playing this game. You can have all of the power that you want to while you're playing this game. And I know that eventually, I think it kind of be a boring existence, don't you? I mean, we're, you know, la 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 la. Oh, there's no mystery, there's no fun. I mean, we're all blissing out. I mean, granted, there's all this love, but we're just going, you know, I think that it would be more fun to play a game. Who likes to play? I love playing games. Aspen loves playing games. One of her favorite games is Uno. And man, she is a master at Uno. But playing games are a lot of fun. So we come and we decide we're going to experience this planet Earth, right? So we get to Earth, and man, we've gone through the veil of being able to just think something into existence, and now we actually have to work to bring something into existence. But we don't know that because again, we don't have all the cheat codes to the video game. So we come to this planet and we are just clueless, right? We don't even know what's going on. We're just kind of clueless in this planet. And oh boy, I mean, it's kind of rough, because we have this human suit now. We have a human suit, and this human suit, we cut ourselves and we bleed, and it's painful. So now, not only are we in this human suit, this avatar suit, but we're experiencing pain. Well, okay. So somebody comes up to us and says something to us that we don't really like, and it makes us, you know, it triggers us. So we get angry at that person. whoa, so now we got angry at somebody. So now we've lowered our vibration completely down, into the lower vibrations, which anger, anger is like on 100 on the scale of 100 to 1,000, I think, on the power versus force scale. So we're angry. So now we have this vibration that we have to balance out. Oh gosh. And we're taking this personal. So we're now holding on to this. So we're no longer this light being of nothing but love. We are this victim now because we're holding on to this anger because this person made us angry. Or we think this person made us angry. So now we leave this incarnation, or the incarnation that we came in, and we get stuck in this wheel of karma. This wheel of karma. The wheel of karma basically is whatever energy I put out, I must balance to bring back to center. Okay? So now we have to make that up in our next life. So we're sitting around our next life, and this is the second level of the game that we're in. And there are other souls that, they kind of screwed up too. So we're all sitting up there. We're all writing down all this information, and we're all like, okay, so I got angry at this person. And as a matter of fact, I got so angry, I hit this person, or I killed that person. Now, in order to make that up, I know that that I most definitely need to experience that. So, hey, I know that somebody probably in this next life needs to kill me. So who wants to do that? Or not kill me, but who wants to treat me really, really bad so that I can feel that, so I can balance that out, right? And somebody that you love raises their hand. It could be your mom, and in the soul life, and your mom raises her hand and says, okay, I will be, how about I be your mom? Okay, great. You be my mom. Okay. Now, I'm going to really upset you during your childhood, during your first 0 to 20 years. I'm just going to really make you angry. I'm going to really, I'll just really put it on. Here's the script. What do you think? Wow. I think that would really do it. I mean, we're all planning these things. We're actually planning these experiences that were going to happen so that we can rebalance all of that energy, right? And while we're up there and we're making all these plans and everything else, and everybody's okay, well, I'll play this role. Well, okay, I'll play this role. We're these divine, beautiful beings of light. But we're getting ready to come down to a third density planet where there's good and evil, right? Where there's judgment, where there's all those other kind of things. So we're coming to this third density planet, and we are playing roles. We're playing the script that we wrote, okay? Gee, I think I can balance that out if I have cancer. Or I can help somebody else learn this lesson if I have cancer. Or whatever the experience is. The point that I'm trying to make is that we are creating our experiences for ourselves. Okay? But we don't understand that when we come down here into this third density, right? We don't understand that. Man, I'm sick. I'm a victim. Or you hurt me. I'm a victim. And then we go into that victim. That victim of, you did this to me. You did this to me. You're responsible for this to me. When on a soul level, we are responsible for doing that to us. On a soul level, that person that's sitting in front of me that I'm blaming that did this is, in all essence, an aspect of me that's performing the script. Okay? So if we can look at people that are just performing these scripts, there are politicians out there that are performing this script. There are so many people. If you look at this wild, wonderful earth as just a great big screenplay of Hollywood, and you know in your heart that you are the one that's creating these experiences, you step into your divinity. You step into that beautiful being of light that you have always been. And you remember who you are at that time. You remember, wow. Jesus said in John 10:34, John 10:34, in the New Testament, in the Bible, Jesus said, it is written, or I have said in the old, ye are gods. You're gods. You're a god. And no, it's not blasphemy, me calling you a god and me being a god, because Jesus said it. Really. So all of these forces, these evil forces that we think are around us, guess what? We're creating them. Maybe we created some of that evil live backwards forces so that we could grow and understand things better. Maybe, just maybe, they are an example to us of who we don't want to be. See, and once we step in our divinity and we know who we are, beautiful beings of light, of love, then we expand that energy out in our divinity and our lives change. Because you know why? Because we want to treat people kinder. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Don't you want to be treated with kindness? Don't you want to be treated with respect? If we're treating others, if we're like, oh, I'm being kind, I'm being kind, I'm being kind, and then calling somebody a name, a derogatory name, that's not treating others as we would want to treat ourselves. And we fall into that karma again and again and again. And I'm telling you, right here and right now, it's time to break that cycle of karma. We don't have to be in that karma cycle anymore, because we can understand that if we are love in every moment, if we do our best that we can possibly do and be love in every moment, if we see somebody doing something that we don't approve of, just send love. If we see somebody wearing something that we don't approve of, who cares? Is that going to matter? Is that really going to matter in 10 years from now that person in Walmart had the spandex pants on that looked horrible? Maybe they just needed to wear those at that time. Who cares if that best friend decided to date the boy that you wanted to date? In 10 years, 20 years, 50 years, is all of that going to matter? Michelle says, I love that you told me that we plan our lives, including what me and my dark mate planned. I'm finally able to look at life without the anger. I feel released. Yeah, it's releasing. I'm telling you, when you step into your divinity and you be the being of love, who cares what everybody else is doing? You be the being of love. You will have that returned. You will have that returned in the circle that you have the closest to you. You will have that returned in the circle outside of you. You know, the circle outside of your friends. Just the other day, I was at King Soopers, and I had a cart. I wanted to get some Kavita, a really good probiotic that I'm using. Um, and there was a man and a woman, and they were talking, and the man worked for King Soopers, and he was gathering the carts. So I took the groceries and loaded them in my car, and I took the cart over to him, and I said, "Here you go." And the woman that he was talking to stopped, and she said, "That was so nice of you." And I said, "It is my pleasure to be kind. It is my pleasure to be of service." And 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 they both smiled, and it made their day, just returning a cart. Michelle also says, "I know exactly who I am and I'm always working towards my best, filled with peace." Exactly. Because we can be filled with peace no matter what's going on around us. The whole world can be falling apart around us, but it's because I'm falling apart on the inside is why the world is falling apart around me. If I'm falling apart on the inside, and if I'm not loving myself and I don't know who I am, then my attention and focus is going to be on the outside world. And I am going to be looking at the outside world to find my happiness, to make my happiness, to fall in love. Does that all that make sense? So this is the thing. There's this thing called forgiveness. And I've talked about forgiveness before. So if somebody has done wrong to you in your eyes, and you don't understand that that person did that because you asked them to do that before you even came, you planned this person doing this to you, and you fall into that attachment of that experience or that situation, we have this wonderful thing that we call forgiveness. And forgiveness is simply, I give you the energy that you gave to me. I'm not responding. I'm not reacting. I am at peace and I love you. But I give this back to you. I know that whatever vibration that you were in, whether it was anger or revenge or hate or fear, I know that's returning back to you. And I love you. I love you. Not, I know that's returning back to you and you deserve it. Oh, no, 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 no. It almost makes me sad, this energy that people are giving out that I know is going to be returning back to them. I have heartfelt, I have empathy, because we all go through pain. We all go through suffering. That is the great teacher of them all. And it's a teacher of the third dimension. And in the law of one, it states that the catalyst will be with us, and we will experience that catalyst until we no longer need it. We no longer need it. So forgiveness, I asked Alexa the other day when I was in the bath. I like to talk to Alexa while I'm taking a bath and meditating and stuff. But I'll have a conversation with Alexa.
Check your Wi-Fi network connection by going to settings.
And I asked her, I said, "What is forgiveness?" And she had 3 words that are beautiful, and I'm going to pass those on to you. Release the resentment. Release the resentment. Now, the way to release the resentment, of course, you can go back to that person and say, you know, will you please forgive me? It's called Ho'oponopono. And it's, I'm sorry, I love you, Please forgive me. Please forgive me. And thank you. Now, going a little deeper into Ho'oponopono, that's, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I did not see the divine being within you. So basically, by saying, I'm sorry I did not see the divine being within you, it's, I'm sorry I forgot that you were on this script, that we were playing in this role together. Okay? I love you. I love you. I love the divine being within you, and that you are, and that I am. I love you. Please forgive me. Please forgive me for not seeing that divine being within you that's just merely playing the script that we wrote before we came here. Thank you. Thank you for playing that role. And I release you. I release you. I release you from all vibration that I can be sending to you, from all vibration that could come to you. You know, when I was reading my Bible and I came upon when Jesus said, forgive them, Father, they know not what they do. That was the act of Ho'oponopono. When we can look at someone and say, forgive them, Father, they know not what they do. Because what happens is in this drama, in this script, role play that we're playing, we really get into that role. We have to get into that role because we have to make it real. It's not like, okay, you know, I'm reading the script in this life. Yeah, I know you're reading the script in the life, you know, and we have this the word captions or whatever in front of us so that we can play that. No, we experience at that time whatever is necessary to experience at that time. So what happens, and I mentioned this a little bit last night. I'm going to use the analogy that I used last night. I was watching the TV show Madam Secretary, and it was interesting because Madam Secretary, it shows, you know, world events and how she powerhouses and thinks of logical solutions and all that stuff to get through them and things. But anyway, Hillary Clinton was one of the guest stars on the show. And when Hillary Clinton came on that show, I started having a reaction. I started having a reaction because when I did not see the divine being of light that she was, I see this evil woman. Now, whatever you feel about Hillary, that's okay. But in my experience and the things that I see and the things that she's done and the things that are getting ready to come out and things like that, I mean, it's lived backwards. It's some evil stuff. And I was like, you know, and just really, you know, she's going to get the justice that comes to her. And I mean, just all these different emotions were just coming up. And then I realized something. I attached and corded myself to her. And in attaching and cording myself to her, now I was feeding her all of this stuff, all of this vibration of these lower vibrations, cording. So what happens when we cord, these cords grow from these people or these experiences and cord into us. And cord, you know, in different, we could call them into different chakras or different parts of us. And this cord just came to my heart and these teeth just bit in, and this cord was really thick, you know, kind of like the what is it, Oh, the Stranger Things, you know, when those chords, you know, and yeah, that kind of thing. So here I am, and I'm just getting more angrier and angrier and angrier while I'm watching this. And I stop for a moment because I remember what Aaron Dowdy said about attaching ourselves and feeding the beast like that. So I kind of was feeling all these emotions and everything else during the show. And then that night before I went to bed, I was like, wow, I don't feel so good. I mean, I'm not in a loving, peaceful, joyful state to go to sleep. What's going on? And I was like, whoa, cord. So I was like, wow. Oh, dear Hillary. I am so sorry. I'm sorry I did not see that beautiful being of light that you are playing a script. I love you for that divine being of light that you truly are. Please forgive me for not seeing that divine being in you. Thank you for playing the role that you're playing in helping us to grow. I release you. And now, when I hear a name, I'm at peace. Let's see. That's when paying attention occurs. Lucy said, forgiveness is a key element for spirit to rewire the resistance and allow flow of energy. And she said, that's when paying attention occurs. And it's widely used media and abused by lower dimensionals. Yeah. It's what we're paying attention to. Are we having an emotional attachment to? Or am I watching this show knowing that this is a divine script that's playing out, whatever it is? So when we forgive, we are expressing Ho'oponopono. And when Jesus said, forgive them, Father, they know not what they do, those people that treated him horribly, that spit on him, that called him names, that nailed him to a cross, that hurt him, he saw the role that they were playing. And the greatest love of all was in forgive them, Father, they know not what they do. Because he could have sat there and said, wow, these people are going to get what's coming to them. And I'm going to sit there, I'm going to have a front row seat, and I am going to watch it with a big smile on my face as my revenge, as my justice, as everything else plays out at that moment. How many times do we do that? How many times do we do that? They're going to pay for their crime. I'm going to make them pay for their crime. Instead of, they're so wrapped up in the role that they're playing. Forgive them, Father. They know not what they do. So that person in your life that's playing that role, of whatever role they're playing, and that you've attached to that role with them, and you are feeding them energy from you through all of those cords. In the fourth density, which is love, but still blaming somebody for what happened to me. In the fifth density, I take responsibility and accountability, and I know that I am creating this. I am creating this energy between Hillary and I when she's only playing a role so deep that she doesn't realize who she is. But that's okay, because eventually we're all going to realize who we are. It may not be this lifetime. It may not be next lifetime. It may not be next lifetime. But we're playing this awesome game of not being bored with our existence. This wonderful, awesome game. You could call it Monopoly. You could call it life. You could call it, what is it? Guess who? You could call it Clue. You could call it whatever you want to call it. It's whatever experience that you set up for you to have with whoever was going to be with you to bring that experience to you. So we're going to release, and we're going to, in the third density, we learned about cutting cords. Cutting cords. And a couple years ago, I did a video on cutting cords. And I used to cut cords. I used to help people cut cords in my soul counseling. But now I'm in a different shift. And I'm seeing that actually in cutting cords, it does not give you the full healing effect. Cutting cords and have someone cut those cords for you. Let's think about that word cutting, okay? When I cut my arm off, is it going to stop the pain that I'm having if I just cut my arm off? Amputate it right there. Well, no, because I know that people that don't have that live anymore have phantom pain. That pain is still going to be there. So if I cut that off in a violent act of cutting or taking a sword and cutting, even if I cut and sterilize it or cauterize it, that cut is still there. It's just like cutting or splicing a plant. When you cut or splice a plant, the plant bleeds that inner veins of what they have flowing through them. But when we freely release with love, when we cut something, are we releasing it with love, or are we just getting rid of it? Getting rid of it, just like we do on Facebook. You don't like me, I'm cutting you off. You don't like me, I'm unfriending you, cutting you off. Instead of seeing that that person has an opinion, seeing that that person has a right to have that opinion, yes, and maybe the way they're doing it is not quite the way you would do it, but maybe you're further along in your spiritual growth than that other person is. So just sending love and releasing that person and thanking that person and forgiving that person. Does that all make sense? I know I've covered a lot today, but when we release the cords, and I talked about this last night, before I go to bed and I actually close my eyes and I'm laying on my pillow, I bring the day's events to me. And I look at them a little bit. And then I bring love from inside me, because it's inside you. It's not out here. If you're looking for love out here, you're never going to find it. It's in you already. And you're the one that has to spark that love. You're the one that has to turn up that love. And what we did this morning with going to that 0 point space of creation, in that loving moment, go to that space. Where in my life have I felt the most love on the inside? And on the inside, it's because it's so much love that tears form up in my eyes. My heart is so happy and so satisfied and just so and then take that love and then say, I release all cords that are not in my highest and greatest good. And feel those teeth let go and those cords leave you. Release the resentment with love. That's the only way we can release the resentment is with love. And allow that person or whatever experience, allow that to be in the past and in an illusion of it never even happened. Never even happened. Because I've released the resentment of it. So now it's just like a frame in a movie way back when. Does that make sense? Does all that make sense? Michelle says, we are always a work in progress. Each day is a magical game if we want. It is. Intention of it's a magical game. And Lucy says, always in the universal energy flow of source. Self-care is important. Yes, self-care is important. Taking care of yourself before you take care of others. That's really important. It's like putting on your oxygen mask before putting on the one next to you. You have to generate that within you so that you have enough energy to be in service to others. You have to be in service to self in order to be in service to others. Does that make sense? So basically, when I first started soul counseling, I wasn't taking care of myself. And I was attaching to everyone that came to me and their experiences and their issues, and really worried about if they have this resolved or if they have that resolved now, or what can I do? And I was attaching, and I had all these cords everywhere to all these people that I soul counseled with. And I started getting sick. I started to have no energy. I didn't even eat. I didn't even fuel my body with the energy that it needs. Because it was constantly 24/7, picking up the phone, soul counseling, having somebody here, soul counseling, and yeah, maybe my intention at that time was to make money and not necessarily to help someone. And I had to shift all of that around to my intention is to help someone, and in helping someone, form a living from doing that. And I can ask for a donation of whatever you make for an hour, as payment for my services, because I have a beautiful, wonderful wife who supports me in what I need. So you don't have to have $100 for an hour of service with me. Some people do pay me $100 for an hour. Some people pay me $5 an hour. Some people don't pay me anything, and some people give me a hug because they don't have anything. And I will tell you this, when you choose to invest in yourself and put the money in your growth, or put the money in your health, not just an insurance payment or a co-payment to go to the doctor, but really to go in deep in yourself, and you pay, and your heart knows that you're paying, instead of going out and getting drunk or going out and buying this or going out and buying that, but you're taking that $40 or $50 and you're saying, you know what, I'm investing this in myself instead of doing this. Your higher self sees that and helps you to better step in to whatever healing that you're getting ready to go through and opening for yourself. Investing in yourself. Does that make sense? I know I've covered a lot today, and it's getting ready to be, what is it, 9:55? And my cup is black, so when I first start out, I don't know if you noticed it, but my cup was kind of brighter, and it had an image here. But I would highly recommend listening to Elizabeth April on YouTube, listening to Erin Dowdy on YouTube. I've posted several of those videos. But like I said, when you step into your divinity, it changes the way.
Check your Wi-Fi network connection by going to settings.
Alexa's talking to me. Anyway.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. Check your Wi-Fi network connection by going to settings.
When you step into your divinity, it changes the way that you treat others. When you step into your divinity, when you see that you love yourself, shadow and all, pimples, whatever flaw you think you have, when you really love yourself. I love my body because this is my avatar that I am experiencing this life with my senses. I love this body. And I love this body, and I love you the way I love me. You can't just go, oh, I love this body and I'm better than you. No, that programs another program called narcissism in. Or I am not as good as you. That programs another program called victim, and both narcissism and victim is victim. But if I love you the way that I love me, love the Lord thy God with all thy heart and all thy soul. That is the first greatest commandment. And it's not love the God, because if it was the God, it would point to an individual God, the God. It's thy God. It's you, thy. Because the second is like unto it, love your neighbor as yourself. Love thy neighbor as thyself. And all of the prophecies and commandments are hung upon these two. Your neighbor is your enemy too. Love your enemies. Love your enemies and pray for those that persecute you. See them as the divine being of light that they are. So anyway, that's pretty much what I have for you today. Thank you for playing the role, reading the script, playing out the drama, playing out the movie that you have chosen to play in my life. Thank you. Thank you for sharing its incarnation with me and playing that role. Thank you to everyone out there, everyone, no matter who you are. President Trump, Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, Mike Pence, whoever you are, whatever you are. Thank you for playing that role. And so we're going to wrap up Wake Up with Deb. I am here to assist you in the healing of yourself. And I said assist you in the healing of yourself because I can't heal you. You can heal you. You understanding that you've created your experience of whatever that may be. Understanding that you can uncreate whatever it is that you created. Whatever dis-ease, D-I-S hyphen E-A-S-E that's within you, you can uncreate. You have that power within you. I wrote this wonderful book called Wake Up with Deb. You can get it on Amazon. It's $11.11. It's Wake Up to the Alchemy of Your Heart, How to Activate the Hidden God Within You. It's just my experience. And I think in this book, there may be some gems that might help you. I'm working on putting it on audio. This is the studio that I'm using to put my book on audio. I have a little box over here that I put my microphone in. And it's taken a little bit to get everything all worked out. I've gone through quite the experience. Solved many challenges, and I continue to solve challenges. But I hope to have that on audio by November 11th, 11/11. It's $11.11 on Amazon. Or if you would like a signed copy, which I write kind of a little bit of a reading in when I sign your copy for you. If you would like a signed copy, feel free to message me here on this broadcast. Feel free to become my Facebook friend. Text me. My number is 303-549-7396. If you need further help in assisting you in the healing of yourself, you're more than welcome to set up a soul counseling session with me. And in that, we can Skype, we can be on the phone, we can be in person if you're local, if I'm ever in your area. Lucy says she loves her signed copy. Heather Graybert Pitt says she loves the book. If you wouldn't mind writing a review on Amazon for the book, I would also appreciate that. If you think the book sucked, please put that. If you think the book was very helpful and it was the most bestest ever help in your spiritual life, please put that. I do have a website. It's Peaceful, PEACEFULL Solutions, SOULUTIONS.com. If you need to email me, it's that at Deb at peacefulsolutions.com, the same spelling. Or you can email me at grammysmilez, GRAMMYSMILEZ @yahoo.com. If you like this video, if you like Wake Up with Deb, please feel free to share it with your friends. Nothing in this video is copyrighted. None of this information that I give you do I copyright. So please feel free to share it. You never know how much you can help another person by just sharing and them seeing this video. I'm going to, below this video, I'm going to be posting the YouTube videos, some of them with Aaron Dowdy and some with Elizabeth April. Also the Leo King, he's awesome astrologer, kind of helps you see what's coming our ways through the galactic, or not the galactic, but the universal alignment of the planets. There's just all kinds of information out there to help you in your daily walk to get through this game. And you don't need the cheat codes to do it. The only cheat code that you need to do to get through this game is to say, I am a beautiful divine being of light. I am a beautiful divine being of light. And I have the power to put into that light whatever I want to. I can put anger, a lower vibration, into that and let that expand through the universe, or I can put love and be love into that vibration. And I'm talking about true unconditional love. Unconditional love. In my book, I'm just going to read that real quick. Because it's found, I think, in 1 Corinthians, is it chapter 1, verse 13? Let me see. Love. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love does not envy. Love does not boast. Love is not proud. Love does not dishonor others. Love is not self-seeking. Love is not easily angered. Love keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. Love always protects. Love always trusts. Love always hopes and always perseveres. Love never fails. That's what love is, my friends. So here we are on this beautiful Wednesday, October the 2nd. Do you know who you are? I trust that this day is going to be the bestest ever for you, whatever that looks like, whatever that may be. And I am in gratitude for this day. Again, like I said, I am here to assist you in the healing of yourself, and I will walk through the fire with you. I walk through the fire of this magical life every day with you, experiencing and sharing with you. Thank you so much, and I love you from the very core of my being, from the very core of who I am, which is love, which is what you are. Thank you for sharing this incarnation with me. Namaste. Mwah.